here at Las Vegas, which is second most in track history, and coming off of a third-place finish last weekend at Atlanta, another intermediate track. Kind of talk about that momentum you have going into this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked coming here to Las Vegas. We ran pretty well last year. We finished very poorly, but we ran pretty well. So tested here in January. Not sure how much we learned, but it never hurts. So looking forward to getting out there today with this reduced downforce and see what it's like here.
All right, we're going to open the floor to questions. Please raise your hand, state your name and affiliation. We'll start over here with Woody.
Woody Kane with MRN. First of all, happy birthday. And I was curious about, after seeing it for a couple of weeks now, the stage racing, if you think it'll play out any different at another intermediate track, or if Atlanta was such an apples and oranges comparison that it might not be the same.
Well, the real answer is I just don't know. I mean, obviously Daytona is very unique. Atlanta, I think I was a lap down for both the stages, so I wasn't really a factor or really part of that. I know they ran green, and you got to have tires there, so you couldn't really get too far off sequence to try to do much different there. So it might be different at tracks like this. I think at every track it'll probably be, everybody's line of thinking will probably be, a little bit different.
We'll move to the middle here for Mark.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Just to sort of follow up on that, Matt, it seems after Daytona, as Chris Buescher was talking, some drivers talking with more emphasis on the points in the stages because they saw a guy crash out and still be, fifth in points as far as in the truck race. And last week in Atlanta in stage 2, there was a lot of talk among the crew chiefs to the drivers. One was for a battle for 10th, like get up there, you got one spot and we get a point. Another was, I think, for 3rd or 4th. Are these points going to be more valuable or are you seeing them to be more valuable than when you started the process or first looked at this segment racing?
Well, I think they're always valuable, especially since they're kind of rewarding the top 10 in points after 26 weeks. Obviously, you want to collect every single point that you can collect, but like I said, I wasn't part of either one of those because we were lapped down from our speeding penalty and weren't back in there at that time. I think you want to be aware of where you are on laps, and obviously you're racing people hard to get those spots at the segments as well as the end of the race, but it's not I wish it was as easy as your crew chief saying, hey, you need 3 more spots and you're going to get that point. Oh, okay, I'll just go past those guys. And I wasn't planning on it. I was happy here. But so, I mean, man, it's so competitive as you look down the lap times each and every week. You can see all the cars are so close to the same speed. It's just not that easy. So everybody's racing as hard as they can. But, yeah, for sure, the points and your running order, after those 2 segments are more important than ever.
We'll move to the left here to Joe.
Joe Manzer, FoxSports.com. Matt, I know the first couple of races haven't gone the way Joe Gibbs Racing would have liked. Any ideas why you guys, as a company, have gone off to a little bit of a slow start? And then also, if you could comment on the speeding penalties at Atlanta, and are you concerned about the extra timing lines here as well?
Well, I mean, man, you're only 2 weeks in, and really it's hard to count Daytona. Everybody, it's so easy to get caught up in a wreck there, and like our wreck at Daytona, we don't have anything to do with that. We're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, so there's just nothing you can do about that. I don't put a lot of stock in where you leave in the point standings after Daytona. I just never have, because it doesn't really have much to do with the rest of the season. Last week, and I don't know, Denny had mechanical failure. Not sure about Kyle. I thought we ran pretty well, really, the whole day. We just had those speeding penalties. As far as that, we knew the added segments. It's just you go through the segments pretty fast. When they're twice as long, even if you're not trying to cheat a segment or do something like that, if you look away for a second, your pit stall or whatever, and you get going a little bit, you got some room to slow down and correct, because they're time segments. Where now you went through them last weekend so fast, like if you ever did get one light over or whatever, there was no time to correct. But for us, we just had the stuff set too aggressively, and I think especially after they changed something to track, you just kind of got to start over and get a good baseline and err to the slow side, and then go from there for the next race.
Additional questions for Matt? All right, thank you, Matt, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys.